Today we have the Universal Nutrition Ultra Whey Pro. This is double chocolate chip. Let's go ahead and open it up, see how it mixes, and see how it tastes. Before we open it up, let's go ahead and take a look at the label. So we have Universal Nutrition Ultra Whey Pro. This is double chocolate chip, and this happens to be the 5-pound container. We can see cross-flow ultra filtered whey peptide protein, triple whey formula, mixes easily, and there's a little bit of the label if you want to read that. Okay, now the stuff you really want to know, the nutritional facts. 1 scoop, and because this is 5 pounds, we're getting about 76 servings. So calories would be 120, fat is 2, total carb is 3.5, but we have about 1 gram, less than 1 gram of dietary fiber. So 3.5, that's not too bad for a low carb diet, the anabolic diet. And protein is 22 grams. Okay, so this is a whey protein, not a mix of like casein or anything like that. So it's all whey, different kinds of whey peptides there, it looks like, pure whey. And then that's what it's comprised of. Look at that as you wish. Onto the dosages, mix 1 to 2 slightly rounded scoops with 6 to 12 ounces of skim milk or your favorite beverage of choice. I usually use water, and then, they give you suggestions of how much to take there. Of course, you got your mandatory warnings. All right. And one more thing before we open it up. If you look here on the lid, there's actually a nifty little handle. So if you want to take your whey with you on a big 5-pound tub, you can do that. All right. All right, so there it is. You can see it's sort of looks kind of dark color there. Number one, let's make sure there's a scoop. Every once in a while, like with the creatine, Universal won't include a scoop, but we have a scoop here, so that's good. Have a scoop with the whey. All right, let me smell it real quick. Yeah, it's not really, it doesn't have like a really strong smell, but you can definitely smell like the chocolate chip, sort of chocolate smell there. So that's what it looks like inside. So we want to know how it mixes and how it tastes, right? So we'll mix it a few different ways here, a couple different ways. We're going to put 1 scoop into plain water in a cup. Then we're going to put 1 scoop in plain water in a shaker cup. All right, since those are the, probably the 2 main methods that people use to mix protein. Now, my preference lately has been using a Magic Bullet blender, which we'll do that at the end there. All right, so let's see how this mixes in just water. Okay, so it's been 45 seconds to a minute. It looks all right. Let me try it. So it does mix well with just a spoon. There's a hint of a chocolate flavor to it and almost like a chocolate milk flavor. I'm not sure why they call this double chocolate chip. They should have just called it like chocolate milk or very light tasting chocolate. It's definitely not the best protein I've ever had, at least mixed like this. Again, I say this in every video, half and half, heavy cream, throw that in there. A bunch of other stuff. If you're bulking up, throw some Oreos in there. That kicks up anything. But it is not overly sweet at all. We still have to do this one here. It's not overly sweet at all. In fact, there's barely any sweetness there that I can detect. And that was about 5 ounces of just plain water. As you can see, it mixed pretty well with just a spoon. There's a few specks here, but whenever you're drinking it, it's smooth. It's just fine. So if it's smooth with just a spoon, it's going to be smooth with a shaker cup, of course. Tastes exactly the same, obviously. Mixed in a shaker cup because it blends so well with just a spoon. Can't really tell, but there's no clumps in there at all. There's like maybe 1 or 2 tiny clumps in there. So either way you go with just a spoon and water, or if you want to go with a shaker cup, either one be absolutely fine for the Universal Whey Protein, the double chocolate chip. As far as a flavor rating, I almost off the top of my head want to say a 7, but I'm really going to say probably an 8.5, close to an 8.5, not, maybe an 8.3. And I say that because there are days when I don't want something that's so sweet, and this is not really sweet. I don't detect the chocolate chip flavor, the double chocolate chip. It's really more like just a chocolate flavor. So that's how I would approach it. There's no, like sometimes a chocolate chip flavor will have like a vanilla undertone to it, in the powder, and then you'll have actual chocolate chips. I'm not detecting any actual chocolate chips in here at all. It's more of just like a very lightly flavored, a very lightly chocolate flavored protein powder. It's fine, you know, it tastes fine. All right, so to end this off, like I said, I really like to mix things up in this blender here. So I'm just gonna pour this in here. Usually I just put water in there. Is this chocolate chips or is that clumps? That is chocolate chips. Like a crunchy chocolate chip thing. I guess there are little chunks of something in there. And we'll dump this in here. Now usually I'd put some like coffee creamer, some half and half or something. I might put a little Splenda in there as well, just to make it a little sweeter if I wanted it that day. Of course I put my creatine in there and anything else I happen to be consuming that day, which who knows. Just pop this in here. Peanut butter would work really, really well in here as well. All right, there we go. You can see how frothy that makes it. Yeah, see, that's way better mixed like that. That is the Universal Whey Pro Double Chocolate Chip. Again, it's not really that much of a chocolate chip flavor. I guess there are some little pieces in there, but it tastes more of like a chocolate flavor to me. It's like a very slightly flavored chocolate flavor. It's not sweet, so if you don't like sweet stuff, this is definitely a protein powder you want to consider. It's not sweet at all. Good source of protein, overall good price, and a great company to buy from, in my opinion. So go check it out. That's the Universal Whey Pro. This is Double Chocolate Chip.